I'm Sue Alouche. I studied at Central St Martin's. I have a master's from Central St Martin's in London, and after leaving there I worked for very large agencies in designs. Then I went off to open my own business based on ecological and sustainable issues, and then became a consultant. Then I moved to France and started teaching at the School of Design.
I'm Ben Walker. I'm Australian. I hold degrees in marine biology and industrial design from Melbourne and Monash universities in Australia. I also studied at Glasgow School of Art before coming to Paris to work at O2 France, which was back then the leading eco-design consultancy in France. That was the late 90s. And I've been here ever since. I'm the head of the master's program Innovation Responsable at the design school here in Nantes. I have my own consultancy, an eco-design consultancy. Yeah, the master's program of responsible innovation is a broad-based program, but really focusing on trying to meet the challenges of the bigger picture of society's challenges, but also how that translates to the business environment. So we sort of focus on not so much what could be made, but rather what should be made, and looking at innovation from a user-centered point of view, but also looking at new social and economic models in terms of developing products, services, and product service systems. So we address our projects touch health, well-being, security, but they can go a bit larger than that and looking at just other problems. It's quite exciting. It's very challenging for us. I know, every week we get to discuss with these young creative minds and help them build the intellectual and practical elements of their very fascinating and significant projects that they have for the end of their master's program.
Yeah, it's actually quite difficult for some of them because they have to be visionaries in a way. They have to imagine the future. They have to, if they're just benchmarking, they're going to get another Me Too product or Me Too service. So they have to really look ahead, imagine what could be in terms of new user scenarios, future user scenarios, and that's quite challenging, but also very rewarding when they arrive at the end and they've done something innovative, but in an ethical, responsible manner. It's quite a perspective course. They have to really be able to think outside the box to imagine new scenarios, and that isn't for everyone. I think they have to really, if you're coming on to particularly our one, which is responsible innovation, you have to really think about what's the designer of tomorrow. What can we imagine is the world going to be like in 10 years' time, 5 to 10 years' time?
Or how it should be like in 10 years' time.
Yeah.
So I think there's really a strong element of prescriptive, not just descriptive design.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's broad-based projects. We get students coming in from not just product design, but interior design and graphics, and also interactivity. We have that creates a great spectrum of skills which they bring to these problems. And students bounce off each other. I mean, there's a sharing of skills and competences, and so what you get at the end is very well-rounded, well-communicated projects which tackle some very hard issues. More general, we have an interesting project just in its phase of termination at the moment, looking at the problem of pollinators, airborne pollinators in society at the moment, and looking at how, it's a project which raises awareness regarding the problem of these pollinators, and actually goes to present a very credible solution where people can raise these pollinators at home on a domestic level, which has never been done before.
So how you can create very cost-effective furniture suitable for educative purposes, and also something that's stimulating for their environments. So when an adolescent arrives at the children's home, they actually have a kit which they can use to construct their bedroom, in fact. They design their bedroom around this kit. So it's a very complex project because you have to think about the educators, you have to think about the economic issues of the home itself, plus the real needs of the users. So
we have projects that are addressing the loneliness, a very ambitious project, which is tackling one of the great problems of society today. I mean, the statistics are horrendous. We've had projects in the past addressing, how would you say, safety in the home. France has got one of the lowest figures in Europe about installation of smoke detectors, and we're looking at how, why is that the case to begin with, and then how do you design something where it's easy to install without compromising any of its performance capacities. Designers, we're really here to get the students to develop their own language, develop their confidence, and for them to be able to go out into business environment, transcultural environment, and to be actually have confidence that they've got something really important and valuable to offer.